Hey, everybody. Hi. Girlfriends in Football is back after a very short break that felt like forever.
Happy
So
football. We're back.
we
Well,
are
most of us
back.
are back.
Yes. Our fearless leader, Desi, is still under the weather. So we're going to give her a little bit of time on injured reserve and hopefully she'll be back next week.
But we wanted to make sure we came back. It is right before playoffs. We have just finished everything up for the season. So I feel like there's a lot of fun stuff to kind of address this week before we hit playoffs. So
Exactly. So yeah, why don't we get into it? Well, how were your holidays? First of all, we haven't seen each other since before Christmas.
That's right. Christmas was great. Very low key, exactly the way we needed it. And then New Year's we spent with some friends, and same deal, pretty low key. We may have burned our intentions into our New Year's toast and drank our intentions. It's a little tradition we have with a few of our friends. So
I love that.
my kids were like, we see it, we're good. Also burned there and put it in their sparkling juice, but they didn't drink it like we did. That's fine.
Fair. They're kids. They're kids. Yeah, it was pretty low key around here too. We went to see a movie on Christmas Day, and then we watched the very, very sad Lions game on Christmas Day. But that's all okay because what we're going to get into now is the final game of the regular season. So yeah, how'd the Bills do this week?
Oh, it was so nice to see, particularly after the loss to the Eagles. It was so. Josh Allen has right now he's on like 120 or 130 game starting streak. So they wanted to make sure they started him. James Cook was nearing the rushing yard title for the season. So they wanted to play him enough to get that. And then once they did those things, we put in pretty much all of our second and third string. And we crushed the Jets with our second and third string. Mitch Trubisky did a great job as quarterback. He reminded us all why he's our backup, and we're in good hands if he's there. Everybody played so well. It was just a fun game to watch. It was the final game at the Ralph during regular season. We'll see what happens with playoffs.
Right.
There might not be chairs left in the stadium though, because I feel like people were taking souvenirs from the stadium that may or may not should have been removed. So we'll see what happens. Maybe standing room only. We'll see what happens. But it was a great thing to watch. People stayed well past the end of the game, 10, 15, 30 minutes, and just soaked it in. If you've ever spent a lot of time in a football stadium and then watch kind of that era come to an end, it was pretty emotional for a lot of the fans. So, and for the players. So it was a great way to give our team a little bit of a rest, a great way to have a good win to send us into playoffs, which happens.
Which is awesome. Awesome. Yes, we've got two of the Girlfriends of Football teams in the playoffs. So unfortunately, the Lions are not there. If you look back at our season, we were one play away from being in the postseason, literally one play. So, but it is what it is. We still had a winning record. Technically, we beat the record of the top spot in the NFC South. So
I don't know if that's really a win.
Well, true, but the Panthers are going to the playoffs.
Big. Yeah. Do they even have a winning record?
No.
Okay.
And they won the division.
Sure they don't have a winning record. And you can thank the Falcons for that. The reason why the Falcons are going is because they beat New Orleans, right? So
right.
Even though Carolina lost to the Bucks, the determining factor of who went to the playoffs ended up being the following game the next day, which was the Falcons game. And because of the way the tiebreaker games go, they ended up like, there they are. Like, who would have seen Carolina in the playoffs?
That's not me, but Yeah, so I will get into the
probably won't be there long, but
right.
They made it.
Right. But yeah, the final Lions game was awesome. Our Christmas game was just terrible, but the Lions game against the Bears. So the Bears won our division, but we swept them the whole season. So I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, they looked great. They looked. I mean, the Lions can still be a little messy, but they were out there showing that that's this entire season was not. It wasn't the end for them. This isn't our window hasn't closed. I think we're going to come back stronger next year. I guess, and the benefit of it is that we get a fairly weak strength of schedule next year, which isn't bad because we play the fourth place teams. So we'll do it.
It's all good. And the Niners somehow, this is no shot to the Niners at all. Listen, guys, I don't know how you have made it this far this season with what you've had. It is phenomenal. Best of luck until you play Buffalo in the Super Bowl. But I'm in awe of how they have held the team together despite all the chaos that has come upon them this season. So we shall see.
Yeah, no, this is going to be an exciting off season. I mean, like we've said or not off season, but playoff season. We've said it all season long, right? That there's not been any one team just absolutely dominating the way that has been in the past, or at least in the recent past. And so I think we're getting a little more like diversity of teams in the playoffs. And who knows what's going to actually happen.
Yeah, which I love, which I think needed to happen, right? Like, I mean, that's how you keep fan base. Not every team, you can't have a Jets every year. Like, I don't know how Jets still have fans. You can't have Cleveland every year, right? I mean, I'm a Buffalo fan. Like, listen, I went through that whole big drought. Like, we had our almost moment, and we had a big drought, and now we have our almost moment again, and who knows what this season ends up like, right? But without having those glimmers of like pieces that fit, how do you hold that fan base together, right? So you sit there, if you do that on the whole NFL level, the system collapses. So it's been really fun to kind of watch this year. And I'm excited to see what the playoffs have to hold.
I am too. And we'll get to our picks at the end of our episode. We've got it was interesting to see who we were all picking. So we'll get into that a little later. Let's see, where do we go from here without Desi? We're co-hosting and I'm producing. So I got to make sure I have everything in line.
Thank you, Laura. I'm here with a drink. I just show up.
Well, speaking of, we keep saying we want to do drinks earlier in the episode so that we haven't drank them. So why don't we slip right into our cocktail and mocktail?
Yes!
All right. So you were pulling some cocktail magic out this week.
It is because it's wild card week. This is when everybody who may or may not continue on, who didn't quite get a bye week, plays. So we have the wild card martini. I love a good martini. I prefer dry drinks over sweet. So this was right up my alley. It has dry gin, dry vermouth, lemon juice, and maraschino cherry liqueur. I used maraschino cherry as well as my garnish instead of a lemon peel because let's be real, I never have real lemons in my house. The jar of cherries lasts for quite some time. Shake it up, pour it into a chilled glass. It's delicious. I will say you have to make sure that if you make it and you want it to look like that, you need to make sure you get the Luxardo maraschino cherry liqueur because other ones will have a red tint to it. So if you want it to look clear or more like a true martini, you need the Luxardo.
Right. Yeah. Mine has a red tint.
I shockingly, I have one of each. It wasn't really it wasn't my choice. I think I needed cherry juice and I needed it and I forgot that I had the other bottle. And so I went and because I make aviations a lot. So I had the other one for aviations and then I was like, oh, this one calls for clear. Okay.
But yeah, mine's just a little take because I didn't have all the right ingredients. But I had a rose botanical gin, I had sweet vermouth, and actually the juice out of my cherries, which the bourbon cherries. So mine is a lot sweeter than yours, I imagine.
All this to say, all of our cocktails can be tailored to suit your needs.
Yes, 100%.
Use this as a guide, not as a rule.
Right. But you also, when you sent this to me, I died when the mild card martini.
I thought it was pretty clever. So this same type of thing, again, I'm not a huge sweet person. If I'm going to have a mocktail, I want it to still have kind of a bite to it. So this has sparkling water or just cold water, lemon juice, tart cherry juice, almond extract, which is a nice contrast to the tart cherry juice and the simple syrup that you add in as well. I can't say the word, agnostic.
Angostura.
Angostura, thank you. Bitter. And that also gives kind of like a smoky little deep flavor to it. That does have like a minuscule amount of alcohol in it. So if you want to be completely alcohol free, you can admit that. That's a pretty easy thing to admit. But it is a great alternative, and I thought it was a fun name.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Absolutely. And yes, so as always, make these drinks. But yeah, we wanted to do it a little early because by the time we get to it, most of the time our drinks are like
here, and I'm like, there was a drink in here. But no.
We did make a drink. Promise. All right, so we've got a few things planned. We've got like the top 10 wild moments of the NFL season. But before we get to that, we were talking before the show about the sort of Black Friday fire sale on head coaches right now. And like, obviously everybody got
wild stories, right? Wild card weekend is preceded by wild stories. We have several coaches that were fired that were expected. I don't think anybody's terribly surprised with Pete Carroll being fired from the Las Vegas Raiders. They had a 3-3rd. Raheem Morris from the Atlanta Falcons. It's been kind of coming, even with it hasn't been great coaching decisions. The Arizona Cardinals coach, 3-14 as well. Somehow the Jets still have a coach.
Well, it's his first year, so I think they're giving him a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, Dan Campbell's first year with the Lions was 3-13-1.
Okay.
And we came back from it.
Yeah, I guess. The Cleveland Browns also cut their coach, which also seemed really crazy. Steven Stefanski has been, 2-time voted best coach or coach of the year, something like that. I don't really know if it's his fault of what's happening in Cleveland, but unless you can't fire the owners, right? So it is what it is. They think he should have done better. Probably the most shocking, which we've all kind of heard if you're listening at all to the football world, was John Harbaugh this week.
Right.
Baltimore Ravens. He's been there for 18 seasons, guys. 18. He has put a kid through high school in that time. It's like, that's a long time to be for a team. I was curious. I actually talked a little bit to Greg, Desi's husband, today because I wanted to get a feel, because you hear all the talking heads, right? And I kind of wanted to get a feel from a fan, right? Like, what are your thoughts? And he brought up the fact that even earlier this season, we thought there might be a fire sale. Once Lamar got hurt early in the season, we really were like, well, maybe everybody's going to go early, right? So before the trade deadline, he thought that there was a good chance more people would be let go. I think he doesn't think that it was necessarily a bad idea, and he thinks that probably the whole team is going to kind of they're going to work on dissipating and dismantling it and see what happens for a new year. Try and start fresh. So we'll see. I was surprised that Lamar kept his job,
right?
Personally, but I think there was something about his contract might be up or coming close to being up anyway. So
right. Right.
So we will see. It's hard to get cut from anything you've been doing for that long. So
yeah, that probably is the craziest one. I mean, a lot of them we saw coming, but that one. But Brian Dable has been let go as well, and he is a possible candidate for Lions offensive coordinator, along with our former quarterback David Blau. So we'll see. And there's a whole bunch. Yeah. So yes,
Rivers is looking for something to do.
I actually really like Teddy Bridgewater, and I think he has a career in coaching, but the only experience he has is high school. But I think it'd be sweet to bring him in on like an assistant role or something, because I think he could really turn into something cool. But
absolutely worth a try. Let's see who gets in there.
Exactly.
A lot of them. So there's a lot of changes going to be happening. So might as well.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what this is all about. All right. So we were going to do this last week, and then with Desi being sick and it being the holidays, and just we needed a little break. We love you all, but we just needed a little break. And of course, poor Desi's still under the weather, and hopefully she'll be back next week. She better be back next week. But we might as well get
We will be fine. We will be fine. Either way.
We will be fine. But we put together a top 10 moments in the 2025 NFL season. The little baby Josh there.
This season is chaos. Like we said, everything about this season has been chaos.
So we just wanted to share some of these things with you. And Beth, obviously, we need your opinions on these because, wow. Coming in at number 10, and mind you, this was all unscientifically chosen by the three of us. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just what we thought was the craziest. But we started out number 10 with the Dart and Scatterboo bromance.
Who would have thought that two knuckleheads in New York for the Giants would turn into such a national phenomenon, right? Like, I mean, there's videos of them like slamming their heads into walls. There's they're fabulous. They're fabulous. I was so sad when Scatterboo got hurt, but I was not shocked.
Right.
And the same thing for Dart. The fact that he made it, did he make it the whole season?
No, not quite.
No, he almost made it. The fact that either of them, this would have been better if we could have changed this if they actually made the full season, because that would have been shocking in its own right.
Correct. But yeah, I mean, I assume they'll be back next year and a little bit more mature. Maybe.
I suggest whatever money they're making, because they will not be in the NFL for very long.
Right.
They're not great, but because they're not gonna last. Those bodies will break down very quickly, and heads.
Yeah, and yes, Technics Chick, we're glad to have you here with us. But yeah, experiencing crazy Bears 49er game in person, yes, I imagine that would be quite the experience.
Fantastic. What a great game to be at.
For sure. All right, coming in at number 9, Aaron Rodgers' quote, wife.
I mean, he's wearing the ring, so it happened, right?
Right. Apparently her name is Brittany, and she's very shy and doesn't like to be in the public eye. But she is so shy that 0 public records of her mere existence are available.
And no one was at the wedding. And,
right.
I mean, maybe she is there. We will never know, I believe. I do not believe Aaron Rodgers is ever going to share if she exists.
No. But it made for an interesting story. I remember hearing about it right before the season started, and then like halfway through the season it came out again, and Desi was like, did we miss this? And I was like, well, I mean, it was just so bizarre.
He wanted it to happen. He has decided that he is married. Whether Correct. She exists or not, he is married.
Fair. But yes, his wife, Brittany, if you're out there, well, have fun. Enjoy your life.
You made the choice.
All right, number 8. I had to do it. First of all, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, right? We had some older quarterbacks this season starting out, but then almost randomly, and nobody was expecting it. Number 8, Phillip Rivers returning to football at 44, having not played for 5 years.
Dad bods unite, right? Like he showed up at 44. I look at the dads. So I'm 43, I think.
You think?
Somewhere there. And I look at the parents that I spend my time with and what we can and cannot do. None of us could do what he's doing.
Right.
I mean, I don't care what kind of athlete I was before. There is no way I could go back and do that again. Right? 5 years out, 8 years, absolutely not. So kudos to him for just answering the call and being like, all right, cool, let's do it. I'm gonna play some football.
Right. And he won. He didn't come out there and fall flat on his face. He did a good job for the couple of weeks he was around.
Well, and like he had said, he's like, listen, I was never a running quarterback. I was never good. I stood in the pocket and threw the football. If you give me a pocket, I can still throw a football.
Right.
Don't expect me to go anywhere because I couldn't do it before. And I'm like, well, I mean, good call, right?
Exactly.
Know your strengths, keep it rolling.
Well, coming in at number 7, number 7, Young Hoku's missed kick.
So the thing is he was dropped by Atlanta early in the season, right? Because how poorly he was doing. And then the Giants picked him up, and I looked to my husband, I was like, babe, I don't, the Giants are making poor choice. I don't feel like that's a great idea. And he was like, he didn't really say a whole lot. And then this happened. And we were like, he kicked the turf.
Hard.
Hard. When you see the spray of the pellets from the turf, you know that was not just his foot's in bounds. We know he's in bounds. He didn't, that's what you look for when somebody's going out of bounds. But it was the Linus and Lucy, or Peanuts. It was the Peanuts cartoon.
Yes.
And when Buffalo was looking, I mean, I guess we're still looking for a kicker because we never know when ours is going to be injured or not. But I think we tried out 3 more again before playoffs.
Right.
That's a good sign, right? He was on the list, and I was like, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Send him.
No, and I get it. Anyone can have a bad day on the field, but that was just very specific. It was comical.
It was very comical. And he didn't own it. He was just like, it was windy. I'm like,
right. Yeah. The wind does not cause that.
Yes. No. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Coming in at number 6, hard not to mention this, the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. This is just a small snapshot. We're talking.
You get a start. Everybody gets a start. Who wants to try?
There's just.
Shocking they don't have a quarterback, or they don't have a coach anymore.
Right. And I'm sure you heard the rumor that people want Deion Sanders to come be their head coach.
I did hear that rumor. I haven't looked at it a whole lot, but that
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the Browns, man, you don't build a legacy on 45 quarterbacks. You just can't. So that's where we are with it. All right. Number 5, the DK Metcalf versus fan in Detroit. This story just, it was crazy when it happened, and it just kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. So we had to mention it.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anything since the first couple of days of it. I'll be curious to see what kind of surfaces once all the weeds are pulled away. But it sounds like they have a tangled, twisted past. So
Yes, because the Metcalf reported him at a different game when he was with the Seahawks, the same guy. Their stories of what actually happened are very different. And the fan has lawyered up, and he says that is not what happened, but Metcalf is not backing down. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to actually happen? Yeah. Well, I will be watching, obviously, because it is the Lions, so I will keep track if I can of whatever's going on. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what the guy says to you, even if he deserves to be punched, you're the player on the field. He's in the stands.
You're not allowed to do that. Yeah.
You can't punch him.
And like, you went over to him. Like, it wasn't like he walked up to you. You walked up to him. So you engaged.
Right. So yeah, crazy moment. Number 4, this one, yeah, TJ Watt has surgery for collapsed lung after dry needling. And we talked about this on the show, but just, yeah.
Something to think about, right? Like, there's so many, listen, Desi and I, and Laura too, but we look at like a lot of the injuries and kind of go through like, what do we want to talk about? What are the things that you see a lot of, or things that are like maybe excessive, or, why are we having lots of these types of injuries? And when we do our injury segment, that's kind of what we try and focus on. And like this popped up and we were like, oh, what are you supposed to do with that? Nobody has a collapsed lung in football from dry needling. You might get one if you get a punctured lung from a broken rib or something like that. But God, I feel bad for that physical therapist, because they are not working anymore there, I would assume.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it was just a tragic accident or mistake or whatever. I mean, nobody goes into it thinking that that's going to happen. So you do have to feel bad for everybody involved.
But also, this is why many, many, many physical therapists will not dry needle in specific areas, because of things like that. So the precautions are for a good reason, people. If you go and you're like, I want this, and they say, nah, this is why.
Exactly. All right. Coming in at number 3, Detroit had a few on this list. Number 3, Detroit's 2 touchdown attempts, both called back for offensive pass interference. And this was the game. This is the game where it came down to one play made the difference between us getting into the playoffs. The Steelers won because we were called on 2 offensive penalties at the end of the game, and time was literally out, and there was nothing anyone could do. And it's, offensive pass interference is a reasonably uncommon call. And to have it done twice in the end zone on scoring drives where we got the points, like the points were on the board, and then it was taken away.
So, and we'll circle back to this later, but this is another game where the Steelers probably shouldn't have won. So as we move forward into the playoffs, I want us to think about games like this.
Correct.
And maybe the game this past week.
Yes.
Against Baltimore.
Also that.
Okay, continue. Awesome. I digress.
All right. Well, we're up to number 2. Number 2, wildest moments. Joe Burrow early in the season, bad turf toe injury, but he came back at the end of the season and at first was still not feeling football, and then decided he was going to give his all. So it was quite the story for Joe Burrow to come back. So for like a hot minute, we thought he was quitting football.
It's been an emotional season for this man, right? Like, he starts off all right. He gets turf toe. He's injured. Next thing you know, he has to have surgery. He's like out. Is it Flacco? Flacco came in and like carried for a while. And then he comes back and he's like, I'm not in a good place. Football is stupid. And when we all thought he was going to just disappear, he like kills everybody again. He comes back and like has stupid good games and is back to it. So Joe Burrow might be my enigma for this season.
I said it before on the show, and I will say it again. If he goes to another team, he's going to be a superstar. Like he already is, right? But he doesn't have the right team behind him or in front of him, as it turns out. Like they just don't protect him. He is an incredible talent. He should be on a team that can use that.
The Bengals are another team that need to maybe clean house and kind of start fresh and give these players a shot. Him, T. Higgins, they're phenomenal players and they're not being given a fair shake at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And hey, Detroit Lions fans 16, thank you for being here because I often feel like I don't have the backup that Desi has with the 49ers fans or Beth has with the Bills fans. So thank you for being here. And yes, 100%, we were effed over, but we're going to come back strong next year. And we're going to prove that we're still in the game. Like this isn't the end. We're not done. We're not going back to same old Lions. We're not going to be 0-17. We're going to come back and we're going to do well.
You'll be all right.
We will. All right. Are we ready for the number one craziest story in the NFL this season?
All right,
do you even know what it is, Beth?
I don't remember. It was so long ago that we made this.
All right. Well, this had to be, for me, the craziest story. Mark Sanchez, the entire thing, the stabbing, the arrest, start to finish, like what we first heard and what the story was.
Yes, and this was the beginning of the season, right? Like this is early on. We're just starting to get into the groove of football, and then this shows up, and we're like, what happened? So, and there won't be resolution for a while because it's all tied up in the courts now.
Right. But yeah, it just first we're like, we hear Mark Sanchez was stabbed and we're like, oh no, Mark Sanchez was stabbed. Then we hear that he was really drunk running sprints. Wind sprints behind a hotel. And then somehow, for some reason, in the middle of the night, and then a delivery van pulled up and he tried to get in the van. I mean, almost like a carjacking situation. He beat the hell out of the driver, who then stabbed him in self-defense. And then Mark Sanchez stumbled into a bar bleeding, which is where he was arrested. And it was so crazy. Like at first you thought, oh no, Mark Sanchez was the victim of a huge crime. This is terrible. And then within minutes you were like, oh no, he was the perpetrator of a huge crime. Yeah, man. Yeah, this whole season was crazy.
And maybe we should have taken this as a sign, this Mark Sanchez victim to perpetrator, as kind of like a sign about the entire season, where teams that you thought would go one direction went the complete opposite, because that's what the NFL was this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, those are our top 10 moments of the season. We'd love to hear from you, whether you comment here on the show or you send it to us on socials, and I'll post these on our social media. Yeah, we'd love to hear what you think, what the craziest moments were for you.
Other great games, other great plays, other crazy moments that just didn't make sense. Please share so that we can keep a running tally, and you never know what we'll do with it in the future.
Right. Maybe nothing, but maybe we'll plan something fun. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Well, we should probably talk about the final Rate the Fit of the season, of the regular season, I should say, because we got playoff fits coming. But let's get into that. All right. So there were a number of options. There were some great picks. And I do want to give shout outs to two of them myself. Chase Young and his pink knit coat.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Like that was a coat I would wear. It was very nice. And I was
it was nice as well.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And Matt Stafford, man, when the Lions drafted him at 21, he was just a baby-faced little kid, but he is he's
the guy I want coaching my son's football team.
But he's aged nicely.
That's what I'm saying.
He's lovely to look at.
Phillip Rivers or Matt Stafford coaching my child.
For different reasons.
I mean.
But the winner today, Ray Davis, running back. Yeah. I mean, you called it. You called it immediately.
Listen, shout out to all of us millennials or near millennials. Like, the starter jacket was our life. And Ray Davis had a great game. Let's not diminish that. So that helps as well. But yeah, he owned it. He went right into it and was like, we are back. And that's what we need. We need those Bills back. We need that Buffalo team back with a ring this time. But yeah.
Yes. And I know we're not going to get into our Super Bowl predictions yet, but I'm sure we're going to have a lively discussion once we get that far. But also I want to go back, Technics Chick.
Let's hope we have a lively discussion.
Yes. But yes, you are absolutely correct. The Mark Sanchez story happened the same weekend where Mac Jones saw a dead body and then proceeded to dissect the Rams the same day. Yeah, like how did that not make the list?
Right.
But it was overshadowed.
I don't know how I missed that when I was going through my list.
But it was overshadowed because it was the exact same weekend. Like it was, crazy, absolutely crazy.
The other body was already dead, and this was two people who were alive. So I mean,
fair. Although it's just a weird moment. Like it's just because didn't he just like looked at it and was like, "Hey, look," and then went and lit up the game.
Move along.
Exactly. All right, let's see. What do we got? We talked about that. What's left is the playoff picture. So I suppose we should get into we might as well just do our picks, right? Because that'll give us the playoff picture.
That is our playoff picture. That's where we're headed. Yeah.
That is. All right. So let's start out. Wildcard weekend, Saturday. And I want to preface my picks for Saturday with I could not pick for Saturday. Both games for different reasons. So let's get into that. Let's start out with the Rams and Panthers. I picked the Panthers, even Desi picked the Rams.
All right.
I don't think you're wrong.
I would be shocked if the Panthers win. Pleasantly surprised, but shocked.
Me too. But here's the thing. I live in North Carolina. My neighbor Julie, huge fan of the Panthers. This is the first time they've been in the playoffs in quite some time. So I'm just going to go hometown team, basically. I can't root for the Lions. So that said, it was hard because I would also root for the Rams because I do like Matt Stafford. So it's going to be a tough game to watch. We're going to watch it here. We're going to do some barbecue and we're going to have our neighbors over. So we'll see.
Excellent. Yeah. It'll be fun watching either way.
Yeah, it always is. All right. And then the second game for Saturday, which again, different reason, the Packers versus Bears. I picked the Packers and you and Desi picked the Bears.
The Bears are surprisingly tricky this season. And they have figured out how to win when you wouldn't think they would. So, and it's at home, right?
Yes.
That's that home field advantage thing. So,
yes. And I think I've mentioned this before on the show that often my picks are less about who I think will win and more about who I think I want to win.
Also,
in this case, I don't want to literally I'm going to wear my shirt that says, I hope both teams lose, go Lions. Because if they could both lose, that would be ideal, but that's not possible.
Right.
So, I'd go Packers over Bears because it would spoil the Bears. So why not? And yes, here we go. Absolutely, Barbara. The Diggs situation, weird, but not shocking. It's not a wildest moment.
It is not. He is a unique gentleman, and the Buffalo Bills are happy to be done with him, I think.
For sure. For sure. And then that another Patriots player also arrested the same weekend.
Right. Like how? Yes. So many things happening.
And actually, to be fair, that happened just after we created our top 10 list. So it might have made the list. All right.
Fresh in our minds, right?
Right. All right. Sunday, we have the Bills and Jaguars in Jacksonville. And this one, you can see these are more emotional picks as well, because we all picked the Bills over the Jaguars.
It is an accurate assessment. I don't think we need to start talking about emotions. I think this is a logical definition. The Bills have been to the playoffs before. We know what we're doing. The Jags, it's been a minute.
That's fair.
Opportunities.
I genuinely think the Bills will win, and I genuinely think they deserve to win. So
truly hope we do.
It's your time.
It's gonna be a hard game no matter what. They wouldn't get here if they weren't a good team. It's just a matter of if the Bills get on the plane and show up.
Yeah. And yes, I think they will. I genuinely think they will. But then we've got 49ers, Eagles, and we all, no surprise, pick the 49ers.
This is going to be a hard game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Eagles are no joke. The 49ers, though, they keep figuring it out.
They do. They've been scrappy this year.
So they have found a way to do it. So
I wouldn't count them out at all.
I wouldn't. It's going to be cold, though, in Philly. So
yes, which is tough for a San Francisco team. But all right, and then the Sunday night game, Chargers, Patriots. You and I picked the Chargers. Desi cannot defend her pick here with the Patriots, so we won't speculate on that. But I think you and I are in agreement. We would rather the Patriots just not continue.
Absolutely. And again, they're a young team, young quarterback, young player. Like, maybe they win this game. I have a hard time believing they'll go further than that, just because they are so young and so fresh. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
I think you're right. They're, new coach, young players. They've done really well this season, as much as I hate to admit it. But yeah, I don't think it's their time to be back in the Super Bowl picture. So yeah, hopefully not. All right, Monday night, right? Texans, Steelers. And Desi and I picked the Texans, and you picked the Steelers.
You know why? Because I'd much rather face the Steelers later on than the Texans.
I figured. That was
really that's wishful thinking. Because I feel like, I'd much rather see Aaron Rodgers than the Texans right now.
That is absolutely fair. And I think you're spot on with that. Like, everyone I know that's, AFC is saying the same thing, right? Like, the Texans are a really good team, and you all are a really good team. The Patriots have been doing really well, but they're the one team in the AFC that really is scary right now.
It is hard to find flaws, and they're a fairly healthy team right now as well, which is not typical at this time in your season. So there's a lot going for them. So yeah, go Steelers.
I mean, I agree with you in that would be the most advantageous outcome.
Go Steelers, not go Aaron Rodgers. Go Steelers.
Correct. All right. And one more thing about our picks this season, our regular season standings. Like,
we're so close.
Well, yeah, we're all close, and you and Desi are tied, like tied, which is crazy when you think about the number of games that had to be counted, right?
And how far I fell.
I was gaining for a hot minute, and then I stopped gaining. But we're definitely going to have to use the postseason or the playoff season as a tiebreaker.
Deal breakers. All right.
Absolutely.
Desi, I'm coming after you.
Haha. Be aware. All right. So let's see. Yeah. Yay. You tied. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for listening, Desi. Hope you're feeling better.
We can't wait till you're back. Mostly because we miss you and we like to see you. All right. Oh gosh, that was everything. So I guess there is one more thing we want to share before we close out the show, is that we're working on a little game that we're going to play. We decided that it'll be for the Super Bowl. So we've got an interactive game for you to play along with the Super Bowl. So here's just a quick teaser. We'll give you a few more of the rules and information next week, but let me share this with you all.
Let's do it. I'm so excited. I love a little interactive competitive game that's based off of luck.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm working on unique bingo cards to send out digitally for the people who want to play. So I imagine next week we'll actually roll out the how to enter and go from there. So yes,
yeah, I'm excited. It'll give us good. We'll come up with something fun for a prize. I don't think we've really, we don't always think things through when we make these decisions. So
we've got the concepts of a prize pack.
We are ready to make it happen. Fun, guys. This is what it's all about, right? Like, Girlfriends in Football has always been about just women getting together, learning a little bit about football, having fun, and creating kind of a new community that hasn't been accessible before. So it's easier than doing fantasy football. If you're too scared to do that, this is an easy one to do. It doesn't require any knowledge outside of watching the game and paying attention. So let's do it.
And yeah, it'll be fun, like like squares at your Super Bowl party. They'll just interactive. You'll be able to do it right on your phone and then turn it in online. So hooray. All right. I think that's everything. Look at us. We took almost the whole hour. I'm impressed with us. We thought we'd only be like 30 minutes and out.
We did. We were like, without Desi, what are we going to do? How are we going to fill the time? So we appreciate y'all for holding in with us and holding out and listening. We love you guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We definitely do. We love having you here. And so because of that, because we love you and because you love us, we would love you to follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, like us on Instagram and all the things. You can visit our website, girlfriendsinfootball.com, and you'll find all that information. You'll also find other ways to find us, our blog, pretty pictures, things like that. So do all that.
Tell your friends, share with all your football loving friends, guys, girls, all of it. It's fun.
Yes, it is fun, and we want you here. All right. We'll see you all soon. We'll see you next week on Wednesday at 8 p.m. as usual. All right, Beth, I guess we're done.
Go Bills.